Hidden behind the majestic beauty of vast wings is a world of fierce competition, where only those possessing nerves of steel and absolute precision can survive. With birds of prey, the sky is not just a space of freedom, but also a harsh battlefield. Right following are the birds of prey and their terrifying confrontations that you will not be able to imagine. Let's start now. Eagle versus great blue heron. In nature, a lack of vigilance always comes at a high price. The great blue heron was fleeing two predators when it unexpectedly fell into the water. A brawl broke out immediately. Although the great blue heron possesses specialized cervical vertebrae that allow for snake-like rapid pecks, this advantage is completely neutralized in the water environment. Seizing that weakness. The eagle delivers a strike to lock the victim down. The soles of their feet have special rough spicules, evolved to grip extremely tightly onto slippery surfaces, even in water. When wet feathers hinder takeoff, the eagle uses its own powerful wings like paddles to drag the prize to the shore. The water-soaked feather structure now becomes a massive burden for the predator when having to bring the prey out of the water. Instead of taking flight, the eagle is forced to use the full power of its legs in this struggle. The fate of the great blue heron has officially ended, leaving a costly lesson about the cruel laws of survival in nature. Pigeon versus sparrowhawk. Under a gloomy sky, a large flock of pigeons forms a dense mass, moving together across a new land. But they do not realize that a predator has been following for a long time, just waiting for an opportunity to appear. A sparrowhawk, a master of aerial ambushes, after missing a plum prey, returns to observe and wait for the next moment of vulnerability from the pigeon flock. The leafless trees are no longer a safe haven from the high-speed predator. Pigeons are masters of high-speed maneuvers, while the hawk possesses a lethal straight-line dive. Two opposing styles make the hunt more difficult than ever. This is not merely a chase, but a performance of peak aerodynamic skills. Tension hangs over the red-tiled roofs. The pigeon flock continuously takes flight, as instinct tells them that standing still means death. After a while of chasing, the predator dejectedly leaves in helplessness when hunting these difficult targets. Falcon versus falcon. Did you know that falcons are not only aerial assassins, but also extremely aggressive warriors right from the nest? A direct confrontation breaks out when one individual tries to establish dominance, using its wide wingspan and body weight to pin the opponent to the gravel floor. Under suffocating pressure, the disadvantaged bird deploys a signature defense skill of birds of prey, flipping onto its back and using razor-sharp talons to block the lightning-fast pecks. In the world of falcons, the beak is the finishing weapon, but the talons are the shield of survival. The cause of the conflict is revealed a small lizard. In nature, the scarcity of high-quality protein sources is the detonator for the most aggressive behaviors, forcing members of the same species into life-and-death confrontations to win feeding priority. Ultimately, the stronger one asserts its position, while the weaker one must accept concession to preserve its life. Cannibalistic chicks. The young chick is fiercely tearing something apart. Astoundingly, it is the carcass of its own kind, or more accurately, its nestmate that has breathed its last. Nests in the wild are sometimes a stage for brutal survival. Individuals lacking food or pushed back in the competition will ultimately become a precious source of protein for the survivor. In the harsh wilderness, morality does not exist, only the most practical and effective choices to keep living. Despite the downy feathers flying everywhere, the young predator silently continues its meal, a sight that brings a chill to the spine. In this unforgiving environment, only the final survivors win the right to dominate the highest skies. Crow versus hen. In the quiet garden, a mother hen is foraging with her brood. Suddenly, a crow swoops down. Maternal protective instincts kick in, and the hen immediately charges to attack with dizzying speed. A flash battle breaks out. The black crow is completely caught off guard and knocked down. It lies on its back, continuously enduring powerful pecks and leg strikes. The determination to protect her young turns the mother hen into a true warrior, completely overwhelming her opponent. After struggling to escape and getting stuck on a net, the crow is neutralized. The core survival behavior of the hen is revealed. She stops the pursuit, stepping back to check the safety of her chicks. When there is no chance to attack, the crow tries to flap its wings to fly up, but the mother hen performs an extraordinary jump, intercepting it mid-air and knocking the intruder down. Jackal versus stork. At a shallow pool, a violent encounter takes place. A black-backed jackal plunges into the mud, attacking a giant stork. The bird spreads its large wingspan to threaten and fight back. The jackal does not back down. It persistently bites and tears, continuously aiming for the opponent's weak points. Stork tries to use its large beak and wings for defense, but its helplessness is too apparent. The jackal is a master of pragmatic strategy. Instead of facing the beak head-on, it cleverly evades and repeatedly aims its bites directly at the soft, vulnerable spots on the neck. And this time, its large size could not protect the stork. The jackal delivers the decisive bite, crushing the airway and completely taking down the opponent. In nature, strength lies not only in physique, but also in speed and cunning predatory instincts. Marabou versus springbok. A newborn springbok fawn has slipped and fallen at the water's edge, even though the mother antelope is close by. Panic leaves her standing helplessly watching. At that moment, a giant marabou stork appears, a cold-blooded killer with a sharp beak. But it arrived only for the purpose of drinking water. The young animal lying right beside it gradually piques its curiosity. Seeing the prey lying exhausted at the water's edge, it calmly approaches. The stork uses its sturdy beak for several probing strikes. The fawn thinks it is danger from a predator and struggles to get up and run away. But unfortunately, its body is too weak, causing it to fail to climb the slope and instead plunge back down into the river. The situation ends tragically as the young antelope flounders in the current and then becomes completely exhausted. Owl versus bird. Within the enclosed space of a wooden nest, an adult barn owl stands next to a small dark bird. The quiet atmosphere hides the lurking danger. The barn owl maintains a calm posture, silently observing the creature lying right beneath its feet. Suddenly, the predatory instinct awakens. The barn owl decisively uses its talons to snatch and pin the victim firmly to the floor of the nest. The small bird struggles desperately in panic. The predator spreads its wings to maintain balance, creating a dominant stance. The upper beak of the barn owl is longer and hooks downward, creating a point of concentrated force that makes its pecks on the opponent no different from death blows. The tension gradually subsides. The barn owl retracts its wings, carefully scanning the surroundings once more. The quiet scene starkly reflects the harsh laws of nature, where the end of one life is always an essential source of life for another. Pigeon versus pigeon. In the world of urban birds, living space is always the target of underlying disputes. Two pigeons appear on a wire mesh, initially maintaining a safe and cautious distance. They slowly move into the gravel area inside, where there seems to be a food source or an ideal shelter location. The slow steps and seed-pecking behavior show a false state of peace before the storm arrives. The challenger suddenly charges contrary to beasts using claws. The pigeon's main weapons are its wings. They deliver continuous wing claps like sledgehammers, combined with decisive pecks to crush the opponent's will. Under overwhelming pressure, the weaker one retreats, quickly flying away before facing unpredictable consequences. Silence returns to the gravel garden, where the rules of hierarchy have just been asserted directly and powerfully. What you have just watched shows that the sky is not as peaceful as we might think. Behind the majesty and grand beauty are fierce competitions, where skill, experience, and instinct decide everything. In nature, even the rulers must constantly prove their status. If you found this video fascinating, please hit like. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring many other surprising wild stories. Thank you for watching. See you again in the next journey of the natural world.